Hello everybody. Today we're going to talk about Dragon Quest 3 Remake. I'm not going to say the whole thing. First of all, it looks fantastic. I have played for like 9 hours. I don't know how accurate this thing is with the 11%. I don't really care. There is a lot of changes in the game, and I don't mean it in a bad way. There have been some pretty positive changes, like before you would have to remember everything that you're doing, and you have to pay it in a pace that you don't really forget what was happening in the game, because of what was your objective, what you had, and stuff like this. But with the way that they have made it now, you don't really need a guide to play this game. It shows you your goals. It can show you how things work, so you don't really have any problem with that. But at the same time, it doesn't really take away from the core experience of Dragon Quest. It doesn't really take away from how it's supposed to play, because the way that Dragon Quest games play, they have a very specific way of them being played. And if you play one or two games, you kind of mostly understand how it's gonna go for the most part. And that doesn't go away, so it is a very, very faithful game adaptation of what it was. I have played it a little bit, I haven't finished Dragon Quest 3, but the style and the vibes from in general Dragon Quest games, which I have played, the DS games, the 3DS games, the PS2 games, and the game now on the Switch and everywhere else, that is Dragon Quest 11. I have even played a bit of the MMORPG one, Dragon Quest 10, but not too much. In general, I really love what they're doing with the artistic style and everything. I don't particularly love the censorship, but at least it's not in your face. You don't really see it. For example, the way that the characters, as you see them here in the UI, you don't really notice them. So it's not really terrible per se, but yeah, it is what it is. Like, another thing is that I tried a lot to play this game with the automatic systems to see how far it can go. Now, to be fair, in this specific fight, I had no mana. I had nothing for resources for most of the AI characters, and while they were trying their best, to be fair, they didn't really have much that they could do. They could just mostly do auto attacks uh, in this video. It was a mistake that I made, even though the game kind of prompts you that, oh, you have the ability to now go heal or something, because you chase these guys around. You have to find them like 2 times, and you could just come back. But I was afraid that I would have to fight the whole tower again, and I didn't do it. So yeah, that is why this this fight was a little bit miserable, but it was fine overall. I started playing on Draconian, but I didn't like the characters that I had from the start. I didn't know that you can make your own party completely and change their name and personalities and exactly what you wanted. So when I was around 10 level, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back and make a new party. I will just put everyone else on the standby. And I did that, and the problem with that was it was really hard to get them to the same level as the main character, because you would have to grind a lot. And even with the way that I did it, I still had to grind a lot. So in the end, what did I do? What I ended up doing was that I put it on Draggy Quest level, which none of your party members gonna die, and I started going to the same place that I could farm for my main character that was 10 levels. I started grinding there, and eventually I was able to get money for them to buy gear for them. I found some chests around there, because while at the same time I was doing that, I was exploring and doing other things. So overall, I didn't really lose too much time because I was exploring. So that is a cool thing that you can do. Like, even though you're grinding, you can still move around in the world and try to get experience. The guest characters, the new party that I made, not guest characters, the new party that I made did not really have much actually at all when you make them, so be aware of that. And yeah, overall the experience was a little bit miserable if you try to do that at the start. I would suggest to just go immediately on the top floor and make your own party. Do not have same situation as me, but it is what it is. You learn from this. And I still have a lot of fun with this game. It is grindy, so definitely what I will do when I wanted to do that grindy level up, I will take my PlayStation Portal, I will go on the big TV, I will put on House MD that came back on Netflix. I would watch that and aimlessly because I was just pressing attack, I will just farm. And that's what I was doing. I did it for 1-2 hours and then they were the same level as at the time as I was. So they are like now 10 levels and pretty much okay. So overall the game feels great. The AI is fine if you want to leave it on their own. Some people use that as well as a kind of to make the game even more difficult. So the game has like a difficulty setting that the Draconian is pretty cool. It's not as hard. I don't think it's as hard as the Draconian that is the custom difficulty on 11. And overall this game, I think, because it looks so good, it is kind of a gateway for the new generation to appreciate Dragon Quest. Because Dragon Quest is really huge in Japan, and if you see the sales, probably gonna be the biggest anywhere. It's gonna be there, and it is a big deal over there. But there is a lot of fans in the West that really love this franchise, and hopefully a lot of new people are going to be able to enjoy this game. I have seen some other reviews that they were a bit too harsh with how Dragon Questy this game is, because it really becomes like a CRPG at times, and it's not very easy game. And I'm not talking about the objectives and stuff like this, but in the way that you have to interact with some stuff, experiment and find out things. So yeah, maybe it's not like, I think it's a really good introduction to the series. Probably the best right now. I haven't finished the game obviously, but I can definitely tell with the way that it starts and it shows you the objectives and stuff like this, definitely gonna be a good thing for people that are used to current generation JRPGs. And I know it for myself when I went back sometimes and I tried to play Dragon Quest V on my 3DS. Even though it's my favorite Dragon Quest, sometimes it feels frustrating because of how kind of older style it is, which is something that you don't really see with other RPGs, Japanese RPGs. There is frustrating experience like Shin Megami Tensei, but nothing really like Dragon Quest. Sometimes it can be really punishing. So yeah, overall I think this is a fantastic game. You will have to kill hours with this. It's not gonna be a breeze, but when you do, you're gonna really appreciate your time with this, I believe. So those are my first thoughts. Hope everyone that wants to play this game doesn't really get too afraid of the censorship and stuff like this, because it's really loud on the internet right now. Give it a chance, and if you don't like it, at least buy it physical in order to be able to return it. Yeah, that is my best advice for this. And this is captured on PS5, so just be aware of that. There is some issues with the Switch port, and that's why I actually cancelled my physical for the Switch, and I will wait for a physical for the Switch too, because I want to have a better experience with this game on the go. But till then, I'm gonna be using my PS5, and I will be using my remote players in order to play this game. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day.